let's just jump right in. I want you to tell me about your son.
Oh, my son was 20 years old, and he passed away the 12th of August, 2012. And we got a call about 10 months before that he had got hooked on heroin. And it started out, we saw a change in him when he started drinking in high school. And then he had evolved into trying marijuana. And then that led to the heroin. And before that heroin started, he had had a couple of wrecks. And he was on some heavy painkillers. And I think that has a little bit to do with him leading into the heroin part.
I mean, I got to believe there was never a moment where you ever thought my son and heroin would be in the same sentence.
No, we were just your average family. I've never been involved with drugs, never took drugs, and yes, I was one of those parents that said, "Oh, that kid would never do that. That's not going to happen."
So what do you tell people? Because I know you have picked up this banner and you're out there talking to people openly. What's your message?
I would say that you need to educate yourself as parents and as a community, and you need to realize this could happen to you. I'm living proof, and it will destroy a family. It tears you down. And it can happen to anybody, it can happen anywhere. This is everywhere in our metropolis area here. It's in every city and town. I get calls from people all over that I've known through the years, and they want us to come and speak at their schools.
Was there can you tell me more about his story? I mean, was there a point when you, for lack of a better phrase, figured out what was going on and there was some progress made there, or did this all come as a complete surprise when he passed away?
This was a complete surprise early, but he had called and told us. He had gotten arrested and said, "Hey, I need to tell you something. I'm hooked on heroin and I'm in trouble." And I said, "Well, we love you. We'll get you help." And we kind of went from there. But before that, we never saw anything. But there's so many red flags. I can look back now and go down the line, and there's so many red flags.
Tell us what those are. What do you wish you knew then that you know now?
Well, the missing money more frequently than not. Going out with different friends, a revolving door of different friends. You know, you don't change friends like my son was changing friends. It would be a different friend each week. Hygiene, sleeping more than regular, non-interested, schoolwork, calling off from work, telling us he didn't have to work, he's supposed to be at work, he's not there.
Tell me more about what you're doing now and what you're advocating for.
I am co-founder of the Awaken Project, and we do drug awareness and music advocacy in schools and do school assemblies. And I partnered up with Jeff Mozingo, who owns Mozingo Music, and he approached me after I introduced him and my son, and they really hit it off. My son was very talented. He could play 7 instruments.
Wow.
And he was a good athlete. Everybody loved BJ. He was a class clown. I didn't meet anybody that didn't like him. And he was just a wonderful person, loving, caring, and introduced Jeff, and they hit it off well. And 2 months later was when we lost my son. So he had been trying to get into schools, and it's been tough because they want to cut the music program, they don't have the budget. So he approached me and said, "Hey, what do you think about doing this? Are you ready to speak about this?" And I said, "Absolutely." I wanted to get out and let people know, and this is therapy for me, and I wanted to let people know it could happen to you, what the dangers are, and just educate. So we took this and ran with it, and we have done a whole lot of good here lately, and we're getting bigger and bigger all the time. We're getting more corporate sponsors, and we're getting into schools regularly now.
So what do you want us to do? What should we be doing? How do we prevent this as you see it?
I think we need to educate ourselves. We need to look into the NCADA, check their website. You can go to our website, awakenproject.org. There's all kinds of information out there. Please don't bury your head in the sand. This problem is not going away. It's been here for the last 10 years. It's really gotten worse.
We're going to talk more just a little bit about something called Narcan, and we'll kind of get into more what that is, but essentially it's a drug that can keep a person from overdosing when that process starts. I just want to get your opinion on that real quick, because right now it's not legally available, widely available legally.
Well, first of all, I'd like to throw a big thanks out to Chad Sabora for getting this steamrolling, and I think that it's good. You know, if you can save these kids that are dying, which my own son was saved by this Narcan in my mom and dad's house. I mean, I think this is a good way to go, but there's so much more to it. The long-term effects and what's to come down the road is far more greater than just saving the kid's life. But in order to get the kid cured and help them, they have to save them first.
Joe Richardson, thank you for sharing your story, and stick around if you would. We'll talk to you some more. Thank you.